Now let us go for the definition of the determinant. Very interesting, you might have not seen this definition before. So if A is alpha ij in the sense the first row will be alpha 1 1 alpha 1 2 and so on alpha 1 n. The second row will be alpha 2 1 alpha 2 2, this will be continued up to alpha 2 n, and the last row you already know alpha n 1, and it will be continued. So if this is your matrix A, then the determinant is defined in this way. So we are defining determinant in terms of permutations, you can see. This is summation of sigma belonging to Sn such that sine of sigma multiplied by alpha 1 sigma 1. Now what is sigma 1? It is image of sigma, it is image of 1 under sigma, and similarly so on. A n sigma n means it is image of n under sigma, and this alpha is from here naturally, it is simply the, it is occurring from here. Okay, yeah. So the question is how many terms this summation is going to have. It depends on the number of elements in Sn. So if value of n is 3, then this summation is going to have 6 terms, isn't it? If it is 4, then 24. If it is 2, then it is 2, and that is how it goes, right? So now the thing is over here, how many terms it is going to have, it also depends on value of n. So if value of n is 3, now it will have only 3 terms. Note, it will have only 3 terms. I will go up to sigma 1, sigma 1, sigma 2, and we will go up to what, sigma 3. That's it. If value of n is 4, then this product, it is actually the product, and we will go up to 4. Okay, so this is how the determinant is defined. And why there will be 6 terms for n is equal to 3? Because this sigma is varying in S3 in that case, and for each sigma you will have 1 term. So since there are 6 elements in S3, so you are going to have 6 terms. Obviously we will see one example, then idea will be clear. So a few important things: if one interchanges two distinct rows or columns, then determinants are of opposite signs. Means suppose you are having some matrix, this is an important property to note, we will prove it afterwards. Suppose you are having 1 2 3 4, this is a matrix, and suppose I interchange the columns 2 4 1 3, then the determinant will simply change the sign because we are interchanging the rows. If you go for the determinant, it will be -2, and over here it is going to be 2. So you can see there is only the change in the sign. Okay, so that is what the first note is saying. The second note is saying that determinant of E1 E2 up to En is equal to 1. So that E1 E2 and En is nothing but what? Actually we are talking about the identity matrix. E1 is nothing but like this, 1 0 so on up to 0. You can recall the standard basis of R raised to n in terms of column vectors, 0 1 so on up to 0. And if we continue this, your En is nothing but what? 0 0 and so on up to 1. Okay, over here it is 0. So this is how it is. So if you take the case of n is equal to 2, then you will get 1 0 0 1 identity matrix, and you already know that the determinant is what? 1. Okay, but how we are having this E1 E2 up to En? The thing is, I can write, if you talk about determinant of this 1 0 0 1, how can I write it? This is equal to determinant of E1 comma E2, where E1 is the first column, that is 1 0, and E2 is the second column, that is 0 1. And if it is a matrix of order n, then you will go up to E1 E2 up to En, right? In that case you will have n columns. So this notation is used. So this notation we are going to study in deep when we are going to see one more definition of determinant. Okay, next is determinant of A is equal to 0 if rows oblique columns of A are linearly dependent. This is very interesting. Means if your rows or columns of the matrix, if I am having some matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9, what you can do is you can check the linear dependence and independence of what? These vectors. I will take first row as 1 2 3, from the second row we get 4 5 6, and from the third row we get 7 8 9. So I will form one set. Now these are the vectors of R3. So you simply check the linear dependence or independence. If this vectors comes out to be linearly dependent, okay, then your determinant will be 0, and if it comes out to be linearly independent, this set, then your determinant will be non-zero. Okay, so this is the thing. This is useful if we want to check whether the determinant is 0 or non-zero. In that case it is useful. You simply check the linear independence or dependence, and that will give you the determinant. Okay, whether it is 0 or non-zero. So now let us go for one example where we are going to use this definition in order to find the determinant. A simple one, 1 2 3 4. You know the determinant is -2, right? So let us see how we will get it. So first of all, we are supposed to give the notation to the matrix A. Okay, what is the notation in the definition? It is alpha ij. So I will give the notation over here as the same alpha ij, but since it is a 2 by 2 matrix, alpha 1 1, alpha 1 2, alpha 2 1, and alpha 2 2. Okay, so here just will go a little bit down. Okay. So here what is our alpha 1 1? Alpha 1 1 is 1, alpha 1 2 is 2, alpha 2 1 is 3, and alpha 2 2 is 4, right? So we know what is the definition of determinant. If you want, I will mention the value of n as well. And what is our value of n? Value of n is 2. Since it is a 2 by 2 matrix, so I will write down the definition. We know, so what will be our determinant of A? Determinant of A will be summation sigma belonging to S2 now, right? Sine of sigma, and over here you will have only two terms, so alpha 1 sigma 1 multiplied by alpha 2 sigma 2. That's it. So we know, I will write here, we know we will need S2 over here. Our S2 is equal to sigma 1 sigma 2, where what is our sigma 1? 1 is mapping to 1, 2 is mapping to 2, and what is our sigma 2? Sigma 2 is 1 is mapping to 2 and 2 is mapping to 1. So therefore, or you can say here, your determinant of A is equal to sine of sigma 1 alpha 1 sigma 1 of 1 alpha 2 sigma 1 of 2. Okay, first of all I will put sigma is equal to sigma 1 plus, now put sigma is equal to sigma 2, so sine of sigma 2 alpha 1 sigma 2 of 1 alpha 2 sigma 2 of 2. So which is equal to, sine of sigma 1 is 1 since it is identity matrix, so alpha 1, so sigma 1 of 1 is 1, so alpha 1 1, and sigma 1 of 2 is 2, so alpha 2 2 plus, so sine of sigma 2 is -1, so that is -1, alpha 1, what is sigma 2 of 1? It is 2 multiplied by alpha 2, and sigma 2 of 2 is 1. Okay, so which is further equal to, this is nothing but alpha 1 1 alpha 2 2 minus alpha 1 2 and alpha 2 1. So what is your alpha 1 1? If you go back to the matrix, alpha 1 1 is 1, so just use that value. So alpha 1 1 is 1, alpha 2 2 is 4, I guess, so 1 multiplied by 4 you will have, minus alpha 1 2 is 2, and what is alpha 2 1? 3. Okay, and this is nothing but 4 minus 6, and that is exactly what? -2. Okay, isn't it beautiful? So with the help of permutations we can find what? The determinant of the matrix. So I will give one example for homework, simply try it. Okay, a simple matrix B, but a 3 by 3 matrix, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9. But the thing is, over here you will need signatures of 6 permutations, because now your summation is going to contain 6 terms, and over here this product is going to contain 3 terms. One more will be there, alpha 1 alpha 3 sigma 3, right, over here, and your this summation over here is going to contain 6 terms, sigma 1, sigma 2 up to sigma 6. So you should know all the signatures. That is the only thing. Rest of the things are easy. So you can do it. First of all, definitely you have to use this notation and you have to do it. So this is homework. You can send me the solution on WhatsApp.